Hello there, you're watching a SEO Content Machine changelog update video where I go over all the big changes in the month of July. As always, you can check out the changelog here by clicking on the read changelog link, and it'll give you all the changes that have been placed. So firstly, one of the big important changes for July was the addition of an auto backup feature. So what this means is that anytime you update SEO Content Machine, it will automatically back up your database for you. That way, if the update fails or you lose your data at any time, you can always go back and restore it. So to find your backups, it's very simple. Just go to settings and there's a find auto backups button. Just click on that and it's going to navigate you to where it is located. So depending on which OS you are in, but in Windows it'll be in your SEM Next Plus data folder, and then under backups here you can see that there's a set of rolling backups. So by default, SEO Content Machine will keep at least 5 backups on rotation and will delete all the ones as time goes on. You are able to make backups anytime you need, and if you need to restore a backup, just click on the restore backup button and select the backup you wish to restore. For those of you who are using the article creator and running into a lot of Google captures, there's a new alternative for you now. Instead of using Google, you can switch over to Bing, and from the testing that's been done, it seems like Bing doesn't really show any captures, so you're able to increase the speed and throughput of the number of articles you can create per minute. Just to let you know, the only downside with using Bing is that it doesn't return any questions and answers. So anytime you've enabled that questions and answers in your article creator settings, you won't be able to insert any as they don't exist. Here's a new utility function that some of you might be interested in. As you go on to add more tasks and the database grows in size, you are able to actually compact this database so that it's smaller and hopefully improves the performance of SEO Content Machine when you're loading large tasks. To do this, once again, in your settings menu, click on Compact DB, and it's going to make a backup of your database first, then compact it in size, and then reload the application. For those of you that are using the preview article feature within SEO Content Machine, I just want to let you know that previously your article and the preview article would appear on 2 tabs. To make the workflow even easier, this has been split now, so your article appears on the left hand side and your preview appears on the right hand side, so you can always see what your article looks like as you make changes in your article. Here's a new feature for the article creator. Within content inserts, you can now insert Johnson structured data for product. Here's another new feature that some of you would be very happy to know about. If you are translating your articles, you can now select Google Free. So this doesn't require an API key or any form of sign up. The only limitation is it will only run a translation every 55 seconds. And the reason for this is if you run translations any more than this, then what Google will do is actually ban you so that it can run no more translations. Now this is a big change for those using the insert image feature inside SEO Content Machine Next. Previously, it would actually find your images online and only insert the URLs. So if you posted this article, it was a hot linked image to an existing server. So this is obviously not the greatest way of having images embedded in your post, because URLs can go down and also leaves a footprint to another external server. So from now on, what SEO Content Machine Next will do is it's going to download the image and actually insert it directly into your article as a base64 data URL. So now this is default behavior, and you're going to find that the size of your articles will actually increase because the image is now actually embedded inside your article. And not only that, but images are scaled down and resized to save space where possible. If you wish to go back to the old method where you get an inserted URL instead of an image embed, you can always turn it off by going into the settings, article creator settings, store images in articles. So now it's set to 1, so by default on. To turn it off, just set it to 0 and we'll fall back to the old style. Now this small feature is just to make life easier for those that are using the custom titles, which includes subtitles as well. If you insert your own custom titles and they have been spun, so for example if I insert this, notice how the titles are spun, and you also outside of that use Google titles. Previously SEO Content Machine would send both spun and unspun content to a spinner, which could cause some issues. However, in the updates, SEO Content Machine is clever enough to separate out the two and only send headings and titles that need to be spun. So that saves time and also avoids some errors. So that rounds out most of the big important changes to SEO Content Machine in the month of July. Feel free to browse over the changelog to get in-depth look at what also has been fixed. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comment section in the video below, or email me anytime, info@seocontentmachine.com.